Hello, everyone. This is All Star Hoop Talk with Shane
and Ethan, because every team needs an all-star.
All right, so we're coming back at you to give you some updates about the play-in tournament and everybody that moved on to the actual playoffs and the first round games that everybody has had now in the playoff tournament, and just to see where things set and what to expect coming into the playoffs. So first off, let's start with the last of the play-in tournament round in the Western Conference. That was against Sacramento Kings and the Pelicans. And kind of give us a recap there, Ethan.
The Kings weren't really playing well. The Pelicans were playing amazing. The Pelicans, it seemed like they wanted the win more, and they got the win. So Kings are now eliminated.
Yeah, that was kind of an unfortunate way for the Kings to lose, but at the same time also kind of expected, since the Pelicans beat them 5 times throughout the regular season, with one of them being an in-season tournament game as well, right?
Yeah.
The Pelicans just had figured out and had the Kings dialed in on how to neutralize them and how to win. So then on the Eastern Conference side, we had the Bulls versus the Heat. And tell us about that.
The Heat, I don't remember the score, but I think they won by approximately 10 points. It was a hard-fought game, but in the end, the Heat came out on top.
Right. And so that was kind of your predictions, that you would have the Heat moving on in the East, right?
Yeah.
You kind of didn't get the right prediction in the East, in the West, did you?
No.
So then let's talk about overall, who is the best team in the West? Who do you think, out of the 8 remaining teams, who is going to go all the way to the finals?
The Thunder.
And why do you say that?
They're young. They play amazingly. They have Chet Holmgren this year. And with Chet Holmgren, they went to the first seed, and I think they can make it really far in the playoffs and maybe even the finals.
Now, Chet Holmgren, this isn't his first year in the NBA, but it really kind of is, isn't it? Because last year he was injured and he didn't get to play a single game in his rookie season, did he?
No.
So do you think he is living up to all the hype this year, as it's kind of really his rookie season this year?
Yes, but I think all that hype was kind of taken away and given to Victor Wembanyama this year. And Chet Holmgren, he might have had a chance to earn Rookie of the Year last year, but this year with Victor Wembanyama, he didn't really have a chance. He was good, but
yeah,
Victor Wembanyama was a little bit better.
And so now let's move on to the Eastern Conference side. Who do you think over there is going to be the team that is going to make it to the finals and is going to knock everybody else out?
I would like to say the Celtics, but last year they got eliminated by the 8-seeded Heat, and the year before that they lost in the finals. But I'll go with the Celtics on this one.
All right. So you got number 1 seed versus number 1 seed making it all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll have to watch that. So now let's kind of go down bracket by bracket in the West and tell us who's going to make it and move on. So you've already told us the Thunder is going to move it on from the Pelicans. So the next round and the next bracket there, we've got the Clippers versus the Mavericks. Tell us about that matchup, and then tell us who do you think is going to move on.
The Clippers played amazing the last game. They beat the Mavericks. I don't know if the Mavericks were just tired or something like that. But like I said, Clippers did amazing beating them, but I think the Mavericks might win.
All right. And why do you say that? What gives you that prediction that the Mavs are going to beat the Clippers in that series?
I think the Mavericks can adjust, and it might go to a game 6, but I think in the long run, the Mavericks can win.
Okay. Moving down to the next series, the Timberwolves versus the Suns. Who do you think is going to pull that one off?
The Suns.
And why do you say that one?
The Suns, they've been playing really good this season. They were supposed to be the 7th seed, but they were able to get to the 6th seed just barely in the last game of the season. And Timberwolves, they used to be the number 1 seed. They dropped all the way down to the number 3 seed. And I think with the momentum that the Suns have, they can come back and they can win against the Timberwolves.
And who do you think is going to be the star player in that series to drive them on?
It would either be Devin Booker or Kevin Durant.
Okay. And do you think Kevin Durant is biting at the bit to try to get back to the finals since he hasn't won a championship since he left the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, he's going to want that championship really badly. And this might be the year to do it. So he's going to try really hard this year. And I think maybe he can pull off a win against the Timberwolves.
Do you think Devin Booker, since he's never won a championship, because the Suns have never won a championship and he's always played for the Suns, do you think that that would also help him help Kevin Durant get to the finals?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then we've got the last series there, the Nuggets versus the Lakers. Who's your team that you're going to predict to move on there?
The Nuggets in 5.
Nuggets in 5. So you're saying the Lakers will win 1 game out of that series. Where do you think they'll win it at? In Denver or in LA?
LA.
Why do you think that?
Because the Denver atmosphere, it's amazing, and the LA atmosphere, they're obviously going to be cheering for the Lakers, and I think with that energy, they might be able to win 1 game.
Okay. So now let's move on to the Eastern Conference side. You've already told us your prediction about the first matchup there, the Celtics versus the Heat. You've got the Celtics going all the way on and getting that one. So now let's talk about the Cavs versus the Magic. Who do you think is going to be winning that one?
The Cavaliers.
Okay. And when you go against them, who is going to be that player there that's going to really drive them on and get them past the Magic?
I would say Donovan Mitchell.
Do you think Donovan Mitchell coming to the Cavs is kind of a statement for him, kind of trying to get to the finals and kind of try to prove something that he couldn't do with Utah?
Yeah.
Do you think this will be the team that he can get a championship with?
Yeah, and if not, I think he might go to a different team in the offseason if he doesn't make it to the finals.
Okay. I don't even know if he's got free agency at the end of this year. Does he?
I think he does.
Oh, so then that could be a factor for him if he doesn't go that far this year. So, okay. And then how many games do you think this series will go for? You're predicting the Cavs, so how many games do you think it'll go?
About 5 to 6 games, but not a game 7.
Okay. Now, moving down to the next series, the Bucks versus the Pacers. Who do you think is going to pull that one out?
The Bucks.
How many games will that series last for?
Like with the Cavs, 5 to 6 games.
Okay. Who do you think is going to be the driving force behind that series? Giannis. What about Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers? Do you think he's going to be really trying to make a statement and prove a point?
Yeah, they're going to try, and like my prediction said, they're going to win a few games, but it won't be enough to stop the Bucks.
All right. And so then moving on to the last series there, you got the Knicks versus the 76ers. Who do you think is going to pull off that one?
The 76ers in 7.
And 7. 7 games. So that's going to be a really good series to watch then, huh?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to make that series worth watching for everybody? Why is that series going to be the series that people are going to really want to tune in to watch?
Joel Embiid.
For the Knicks? Or no, for the 76ers. I was thinking of Jalen Brunson. Sorry. So he got hurt the other day, but it wasn't that serious. He was able to kind of come back, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
So do you think he's going to be healthy enough for the rest of the series?
He might be, but if he's not, like I said, the 76ers, they might win.
And you're predicting that they're going to get past Jalen Brunson, huh?
Yeah.
He's good, but they've got Joel Embiid, and they're going to get past him?
Yep.
Okay. So you're saying that series is going to be the kind of the series to watch in the East because it's going to go to Game 7.
Yep.
On the West, is there a series matchup that you like there that could potentially go to Game 6 or 7 that people are going to really want to pay attention to?
I'm thinking the Timberwolves and the Suns, and now that I think about it, maybe the Thunder and the Pelicans, because the Pelicans played really well yesterday. The Thunder, they were able to only win by 2, and yeah, it's still a win, but the Pelicans, they played really well for being an 8 seed.
And on the road.
Yeah.
Going into OKC like that and to almost come away with the win, it's pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so those are our predictions for the first round, or I should say your predictions for the first round. Those are pretty good predictions. We'll see how they progress as we move on. And so the other thing we should probably talk about is some of these teams are they're done for the year. So you got the talks of free agency and what's going to happen with different players and everything. And some of the big names that we've got, because we're up in Northern California, so the ones that we have really seen is Klay Thompson with the Golden State Warriors and Malik Monk. So tell me what your thoughts are and the possibility and everything with Klay Thompson entering free agency and what ramifications that could have with the Golden State Warriors.
I think Klay Thompson, even though he would like to stay with the Warriors, some other team will be able to get him, and it will be a bad team that's still trying to rebuild, but maybe not as bad as the Pistons and Spurs, because I don't even know if they have the money to do that, but still. My point is that Klay will go to a different team, and the Warriors won't have him.
So you're saying that the Splash Brothers will be broken up for the 2024-2025 season?
Yeah.
Do you think that will affect both Klay Thompson and Steph Curry with their games without having the Splash Brothers together anymore?
Yeah, it would. In my opinion, I think it would affect both of their games.
Do you think one will be affected more so than the other?
Yeah.
Who?
Klay Thompson.
Do you think he really feeds off the energy that Steph Curry brings out there?
Yeah.
And I think that they both kind of feed off of each other, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
They're fun to watch. I really hope that no matter what happens in the offseason, that even if Klay Thompson decides not to stay with the Golden State Warriors, I hope he doesn't hang up his hoops, because he's a great player. I'd like to see him playing some more and watch him make a lot more three-pointers, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He's fun to watch, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So I know we went and saw him play the 2022 playoffs run when they won their last championship, and we saw when they won against the Memphis Grizzlies. So that was exciting and fun to watch. And so then the other one we got to talk about is Malik Monk for Sacramento. What do you think is going to happen with him?
I think he would love to stay with the Kings, and I think he will stay with the Kings unless he gets a really good offer from another team.
And do you think he will want to stay with his college friend, De'Aaron Fox, and current teammate, or do you think he's going to want to, really see what kind of offers he can get and just move on?
I think he'll definitely look at all the offers, but I think more so he'll want to stay with De'Aaron Fox and the Kings.
And he is a Sixth Man of the Year finalist for this year, and I don't remember if he started any games this year. I want to say he started a couple of them, but I think that was, with some injuries and rotations, and Mike Brown was kind of experimenting with the different personalities and rotations and stuff like that. And I think Malik started maybe a few games, but he was really known for his energy and his just dynamics that he brought as the first man off the bench to go into the game. What do you think that brings to whatever team he may go to?
If he goes to any team, that's going to bring a lot of energy, and I think the main stars, or if he's the main star, the other players on that team, they're going to get hyped up, and they can probably pull off a win.
Do you think he would be the type of player that a team could bring on that would be just kind of that veteran player that would be able to say, hey, look, this is the fire, this is that drive, this is the desire you have to have a great season to make it to the playoffs and make a playoff run? Do you think he can spark that kind of energy and excitement into a clubhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's done it with Sacramento, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's been fun to watch this year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Him and Mitchell, Davion Mitchell, those two, when they come off the bench, they sparked a lot of life into the Kings team and everything. So hopefully we can keep him for next year. He's a good addition, and like to see him with us. So as we go on through the playoffs, we're going to see hopefully a lot of great games, and you've already, told us the key matchups that you think are going to be the really good ones to watch, which in the West is going to be the Timberwolves versus the Suns, and in the East is going to be the Knicks versus the 76ers.
And also the Thunder and the Pelicans.
Thunder and Pelicans. And is there any other round bracket in the East that's going to be good too? You've given us two in the West. Any two in the East, or just that one?
Just that one.
Okay, so the Knicks and 76ers play their game 2 tonight, so that'll be a good one to watch. And then I believe tomorrow night the Suns and Timberwolves play, so that'll be the next one to watch there. So that is what we're going to go with for tonight, and we'll have to come back in a couple more nights to kind of see where everything's going with the playoffs and who's leading the series and everything like that. So, all right. Well, that is all we have today for All-Star Hoop Talk. So like us, follow us, and download us wherever you can get your podcasts, and we will talk with you later.